Today, we'll be talking about the 4 drivers that will be competing for a NASCAR Cup Series Championship, and I will tell you which one of these drivers will be your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion on Sunday at Phoenix. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. The first driver we're going to talk about is a driver that has been the best all year. That is a driver of the 5-car, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson has had an incredible year in 2021. He has scored 9 wins so far in 2021, which is the most wins he's ever had in a NASCAR Cup Series season. Last year, Kevin Harvick did score 9 victories, but he has also scored 19 top 5 finishes, 25 top 10s, has 2,474 laps led, and has a 9.3 average finish. The thing that is really incredible about Kyle Larson's 2021 season is he has won on a different varieties of tracks. He has won on road courses this year. He won at Circuit Mirrors. He won at Sonoma. He won at the Charlotte Roval, and also won at Watkins Glen, picking up 3 road course victories. He's won on quite a few 750 horsepower package tracks. He's won at Nashville, which is a track that's a 1.33 mile. He's won at Bristol. He's won at a lot of different varieties of tracks. Also won at Kansas and Texas, won intermediate tracks. He's been the best so far in the 550 tracks, but like I said, his 750 program has been absolutely exceptional. And not to mention, Kyle Larson could honestly have won a lot more races this year. I'll go back to the first Atlanta race, where he had dominated that race, but unfortunately got passed late by Ryan Blaney. Of course, with team motors helping out there. Note, of course, his car falling off in the long run. He could have won Bristol Dirt. He was extremely fast at Bristol Dirt, but unfortunately ended up happening was he got involved in a wreck with Christopher Bell. He could have easily had a chance to win Road America. He was really, really fast there. He could have won Circuit of the Americas, but unfortunately, Brain kind of helped Chase Elliott pick up the win, and he was able to win that race. He could have easily won another 5 or 6 races here of how good he's been. He could have won the first Kansas race this year. Kyle Larson has just had an incredible year, and it's not just here in NASCAR. Just how good he's been in other forms of racing. He's won the Knoxville Nationals. He's won the Chili Bowl, the Prairie Dirt Classic. He's won so many incredible races throughout this year, and Kyle Larson just has had an incredible year, and he's the favorite going into this weekend. His 750 package has been really, really impressive too, and he will be bringing the championship car, the car that they had at Phoenix, to this upcoming weekend at Phoenix, the sprint car where he finished 7th, where he came back from 2 speeding penalties. So Kyle Larson definitely is going to be the favorite going this weekend, and he'll be very, very fast. The second driver that will be competing for a NASCAR Cup Series championship is the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin has won 2 races this year, has 18 top 5s, has 24 top 10s, has 1,502 laps led, and has an 8.6 average finish. While Denny Hamlin has not won as many races as Kyle Larson has this year, Denny Hamlin has been extremely consistent. There was a time where Denny Hamlin always finished in the top 5 for like 5 or 6, or like first 5 or 6, or first like 7, 8 races. Denny Hamlin would not finish outside the top 6 or 7 and barely finish outside the top 10. During the summer and the later portions of the early portions of the summer, Denny Hamlin did kind of fall off a little, but what Denny Hamlin had, he was super consistent to the point where he and Kyle Larson were battling for the regular season championship. And Denny Hamlin has been extremely fast this year, including in this playoffs, where both his wins have come in the playoffs by winning at the Southern 500 and also picking up a win at Las Vegas as well. Of course, Delta Hendrick Motorsports has some bad strategy, but Denny Hamlin also won at Las Vegas and has been very fast throughout these playoffs. He's looked really good, and not to mention early in the year, Denny Hamlin could have won a lot of races in the beginning of the year. I look back at Richmond, where a late caution came out, and Alex Bowman sold a victory from him. I look at, earlier this year at Bristol Dirt, where he didn't take an advantage and could not get the win there. See, in the beginning of the year, he couldn't win a race. It was just when could he win. He finally got the win at the Southern 500. Like I said, Denny Hamlin has been extremely good, and both his wins, not to mention, have come, well, one of his wins come on a 550 track, but Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs Racing have been incredible on the 750 tracks. So Denny Hamlin definitely is going to have a lot of speed this weekend. I think he'll have very, very quick pace, and I would not be shocked Denny Hamlin could potentially steal the victory. Now, he does have a win here at Phoenix International Speedway in the fall of 2019, and he's looked pretty fast in the past. Now, he has competed for a championship for Phoenix where he really wasn't that fast in 2020, but you have to remember last year at this point that 11 car kind of was starting to fall off at the end of the year. They haven't really done that this year, and Denny Hamlin is focused. He was really, really frustrated after the race at Martinsville, but he has a lot of focus coming in this weekend. I think he will be very, very fast, and I think he'll be one to watch this upcoming week and at Phoenix. The third driver that will be competing for a NASCAR Cup Series championship is the other Joe Gibbs car, the number 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Martin Truex Jr. Mark Truex Jr. has won 4 races so far in 2021, has 12 top 5s, has 19 top 10s, has led 793 laps, and has a 12.3 average finish. Mark Truex Jr. has won quite a few races here, but the one disadvantage that he has compared to Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin is that Mark Truex Jr. has been really inconsistent throughout this year. He really started off this year very, very well, picking up 3 early victories, one coming at Phoenix, the track we did race this. We're going to the championship this weekend. He also picked up a win at Martinsville, and also picked up a win at Darlington in the throwback weekend. But Martin Truex Jr. really in the middle portion of the year, especially during the summer stretch, Mark Truex Jr. really fell off. There was a time really got like one top 10 finish between 5 or 6 races, but as we got farther into the season, Mark Truex Jr. really started showing up and started having a lot more speed on the racetrack. And he's been pretty good in the playoffs, though he's had some issues in the playoffs. He got involved in a wreck at Texas Motor Speedway. At Kansas, he had a flat tire, though he bounced back from that. He had, I think, issues at the Charlotte Roll, if I remember correctly, where he got spun out by Joey Hand, who was making his first ever NASCAR Cup Series start for the Ricker Racing organization, trying to help them, of course, get ready for next year. Mark Truex Jr. has been inconsistent, but Mark Truex Jr. has won all 4 of his races on the 750 tracks. Like I said, all 4 wins have come on the 750 track, so that could be an advantage. But he really wasn't as fast at Martinsville, which is something that is going to worry me coming into this weekend, because we went to Martinsville and I thought he was going to be the favorite and have a chance to win that. He wasn't able to win at Martinsville, and not to mention, he wasn't really even a top tier 3 car. The Hendrick cars were faster than him, so Mark Truex Jr. is going to have some work to do, but the one advantage he does have is we are going to Phoenix where he won last time. So that's something we're going to have to wait and see. And Mark Truex Jr. probably will have a lot of pace and a lot of speed going into this weekend at Phoenix. And the final driver that will be competing for a NASCAR Cup Series championship is the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion and the driver of the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has scored 2 wins this year, both of those on the road course here, those coming at Road America and COTA. Of course, it kind of does help the fact that Chase Elliott, kind of got lucky because of rain, but he's able to win 2 races. He has 14 top 5s, 20 top 10s, has laid 858 laps, and has an 11.5 average finish. Chase Elliott really has flown under the radar this year, in my opinion. Well, he has not been a driver that's been as good as he was last year in 2020, where he should have probably won more races than he did. Chase Elliott has been absolutely quiet, but he has shown a lot of pace throughout the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series season. As a matter of fact, he probably should have also won more races this year than he does. He probably should have won Daytona road course, but bad pit strategy, NASCAR throwing that rain caution and getting behind and getting turned by Brad Keselowski. I think it was Keselowski, if I remember correctly, at that track. At Martinsville this past weekend, he had the best car. The car, unfortunately, kind of fell off, and then, unfortunately, he got turned by Brad Keselowski late in that race. Also, he had issues at Watkins Glen where he had to start at the rear of the field. Started making his way up to the front. Then he locked up the tires and ended up coming back to finish second. But Kyle Larson was so far ahead, he ran out of time to catch Kyle Larson. Unfortunately, he used up his stuff. There were other races that Chase Elliott honestly could have won. He just had a lot of speed, but unfortunately could not close out the deal. Now, Chase Elliott does have a little bit of advantage here, too, like Martin Truex Jr. He does have a win here at Phoenix. He won this race last year to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship. But he's coming off of finishing outside the top 15. Now, that being said, Chase Elliott did have problems where, like I said, he got dumped by Brad Keselowski. So that's something that became interesting. But the Hendrick cars, like I said earlier, they showed a lot of pace and a lot of speed. So they're definitely going to have a really, really good chance of winning the championship. And Chase Elliott will be the last guy that will be competing for a NASCAR Cup Series championship. So now let's talk. Those are predictions. So let's now talk about who I think is going to be your NASCAR Cup Series champion. I think the driver that unfortunately is the least likely to win the championship, and I know this is going to be a little bit bold, but I think it's going to be Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, last time he ran here at Phoenix, wasn't really that fantastic. I think he was the worst performing of the 4 drivers the last time we were here at Phoenix, and I think Denny Hamlin will not have enough pace. You never know. They probably will put a lot of effort into him, but especially with 2 cars competing from Joe Gibbs Racing, they're going to be putting efforts in multiple areas, and Denny Hamlin's been pretty good at Phoenix, but he's never been entirely amazing at Phoenix, so Denny Hamlin is, I think, the least likely to win. A second least likely to win, in my opinion, is going to be Chase Elliott. I think Chase Elliott is going to have a lot of speed. He's been pretty good in these playoffs so far, but unfortunately, Chase Elliott, I just don't think he's going to have enough of the it factor to go up after the 2 guys that I think are going to have a chance to win it. I think Chase Elliott, like I said, will have a lot of speed. I think Hendrick will put a lot into it. I think Rick Hendrick will try to focus on both those guys, but I think that Chase Elliott will be the third most likely to win. That means that I think it is going to come down between Kyle Larson and Mark Truex Jr., who I think is going to be your champion. So now, who do I think is going to be your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion? Now, like I said, Mark Truex Jr. has been extremely well, where he's won 4 races and won the last time we were at Phoenix. But I think that the driver that is going to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship, and I think rightfully so he's going to win, I think that Kyle Larson is going to be your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Like I said, Kyle Larson is bringing the car that they had at the Spring Phoenix race. And that car, even though it had 2 speeding penalties, it bounced back to finish 7th and was catching Mark Truex Jr. late in the race before those speeding penalties show up. And they have had a couple months, they've really had since March to really work on that car. And they're probably going to have a lot of speed. And it seems like every time they've had practice and qualifying, that 5 car has tended to be the fastest car. I think Mark Truex Jr. will be up front and contending for the win. But I think at the end of the day, Kyle Larson, rightfully, after dominating this year, I think he's going to cross the finish line first. And I think that Kyle Larson will be your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. I think that these 3 are going to contend. And I think, not to mention, I believe that Kyle Larson is going to win the race too. I think that once again, we're going to continue seeing the trend of drivers that win the race will be your champion. So I think that Kyle Larson is going to win the championship, and I think he will win the race this weekend at Phoenix and win his 10th race of the season and be the first driver to win double-digit seasons since Jimmy Johnson did it in 2007. I think Kyle Larson will be your champion. So, anyway, those are my official 2021 NASCAR Cup Series championship predictions. So, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notification on so you're notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and as part of page around links below for that, and combo your predictions for the championship this weekend at Phoenix. Who do you think is going to win the championship? Do you think it's going to be Kyle Larson? Do you think it's going to be Denny Hamlin? Do you think it's going to be Mark Truex Jr.? Or do you think that Chase Elliott will go back to that and win the championship in the NASCAR Cup Series? Let me know that in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.